In this video, we're going to talk about the one who is never named but always blamed. Hi, my name is James, and this is my take on reality. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Robyn, the favored wife of Cody Brown, and how she is, in fact, not only the favored wife, the preferred wife, but the richest wife with no job. Now, before we get into it, I would ask that if you are getting anything from the content and you are not yet subscribed, that you consider subscribing. It helps the channel out, it helps me out, and hey, who doesn't want to help a brother out? So go ahead and hit that HBO special down below, which stands for Help a Brother Out Special, by clicking that subscribe button and ring the bell next to it so you're notified when we upload new videos. And by we, I mean I, because I do everything in this little organization of mine. Also, if you are already subscribed, I want to take the time out to say thank you. I appreciate your support. You are awesome, you're wonderful, and you are the bee's knees. If you want to continue to support the channel, it's easy to do. Everybody, hit that like button, share, let other people know that what we're talking about. All right, now, without further ado, let's get it. Now, here we go. When we start talking about Robyn and how she affects the Cody Brown sister wives situation, I don't think enough can be said with regard to how malevolent and how behind the back, stab you in your front to get to your back type of person that Robyn is. Robyn is the kind of person who will sit there smile in your face, or more to the point, she'll fake tears to your face and turn around and stab you in the back. We've all had friends like that. We've all known people like that. And I think that for the most part, that's why, even though TLC or the Brown family, meaning Robyn and Cody, who have desperately tried to recondition both Cody and Robyn's personalities and images on this show, particularly in this last episode where they had the whole episode, or at least half the episode, was dedicated to Robyn feeling like she was going to die in the hospital from the COVID virus, and she was so scared. It was funny to me that a person who could barely breathe had no problem doing a self-confessional, holding the camera up, and being able to have a full-on conversation. And all she did was kind of give like the labored pause, like, it's so hard talking. Like, but she didn't give, like, I didn't really feel like, she feel like she on her way out. Like, because when you're on your way out, like, the last thing you want to do is like, let me just get some more content up. Like, trust me, I know I've been sick while I'm doing these videos. And the last thing you're thinking about is, let me get some more content out before I go. Part of the reason why I say that Robyn enjoys the favorite wife status is because obviously Robyn enjoys the favorite wife status. She gets more than any of the other sister wives. And then my favorite part is Cody consistently throws up in their face that, she's not preferred. She's not my favorite wife. I don't have a favorite wife. It's just that Robyn treats me the way I want to be treated, and she's awesome, and she's great. That's why I don't have any problems with Robyn. But then when we take a step back and we start to look at the entire situation, as it was brought to my attention, and we can go back and confirm in previous episodes, from my understanding and from what I've seen in previous episodes, when they started talking about inheritance and states and who gets what and how the money is split up and divided in the event that somebody leaves, or in worst case scenario, something happens to Cody and he's no longer with us, in that instance, there was always the feeling that you had to have something to pass on to your kids. And that feeling was instituted by either Robyn blatantly coming out and saying, I want my kids to have something if something happens to me or something happens to Cody, or the realization that when they first started talking about the importance of having a sister wife, Mary looked at it and said, it's all up to me to decide what gets divided and how the money gets broke down, because they understood as the legal wife, you have access to all of Cody's assets upon his passing. The other wives, even though we all kind of use the terminology of wife and mothers and his other sister wives, that's not a legal term. And when we start talking about assets and we start talking about people passing away, then they don't care about what you called yourself. It's what's on paper and what's legal. In this instance, Robyn is the legal wife, and she maneuvered herself into a position where she could be the legal wife. If she didn't want to be the legal wife and that wasn't important to them, which is always funny to me, If being the legal wife isn't important to you, why do you maintain it? If it doesn't mean anything and you don't have a favorite wife or a wife above all other wives, why do you even have a legal wife? Why wouldn't you just, okay, I had to marry Robyn so that I could adopt her children? Well, after you got the court hearing, you went to the court hearing and you adopted her children and it was legal, you could have went back a year later, hell, 6 months, you could have went down to the pathonetary's office in that same day and said, filed paperwork and said, I don't want to get a divorce from Robyn Brown. We no longer see eye to eye. And you divorce Robyn, and in that way, each one of the wives are on equal footing. That's not what they did, because no matter how much crap they talk, they understand the importance of the legal's moniker. They understand it. Mary understood it. Robyn understands it. I think that's part of the reason why Mary cried as hard as she did when she said she was getting a divorce. If being married didn't mean anything because we're all equal and it's just a piece of paper, Mary wouldn't have cared going down filing the divorce papers because it doesn't mean anything in a grand scheme of things, but it does. Because by Robyn marrying Cody, that gives her access to every piece of property that Cody puts his name on, that he gathered or he gained after the marriage and after the nuptials were done. She gets access to all that property. She has a share in those properties. Not to mention, when they first got together, Cody was in a much different situation than he was with his previous 3 wives. In a situation he was in with Robyn, he comes in, he got to be her savior because now he's a guy who has money, he has access, he has resource because the show's kicking off and it's starting and they were making good money and he was making 6 figures doing the show right off the rip, and he could take that money and he could feed it into Robyn. And so what he did from that point, when they started buying the houses from Las Vegas, they bought everybody houses, and everybody was kind of on equal footing. They got the house that they wanted, the way they wanted, in that cul-de-sac. Then Robyn's child, Dayton, decided he wanted to go to Arizona. So when he moved to Flagstaff, now guess what, y'all? The family just so happened to move into Flagstaff, y'all. What date you going to Flagstaff to? I had no idea. And just a happy coincidence. So they all moved to Flagstaff. Now, when they moved to Flagstaff, 2 of the wives, Janelle and Mary, decided they were going to rent. Christine, she said, I want to buy a house. So she went and bought a house. And then, of course, Robyn bought a house. Now, when we start talking about this, Cody made a big deal. Cody made a big deal of saying, what we gave money to Christine to buy that house for her down payment. Because it was on Christine to come up with the money for the down payment. It was on Christine to make the payments, the mortgage payments, and everything was on Christine. Well, my question is this. When you bought that house for Robyn, because the family helped Robyn get her house too, how in the world is Robyn paying the mortgage on that house when Robyn don't have a job? How is Robyn paying for a nanny when Robyn don't have a job? All the other wives are financially responsible for themselves. They all, when he got in that big argument, Cody got in that big argument with Janelle about buying and purchasing Christine's home, because that's the house he wanted and he had to have it. It'd be easy to do. And he got a big, huge argument with her. He wasn't saying, look, Janelle, I'm going to buy you Christine's old house because I love that house and I want you to stay there. And that's the house I think we should invest in. He said, I want you to take your resources, the money that you make, and I want you to buy this house for yourself. Janelle could have easily bought Christine's house and made the mortgage payments if she wouldn't have bought the RV. Well, here's the question, Cody. How many mortgage payments does Robyn make? And with what money? See, that's the whole thing, is that we all kind of dance around that subject matter, and we, with what does the nanny do? The question is, not only what does the nanny do, where's Robyn getting the money to pay for the nanny? Because according to Cody and according to the wives, each household should run independently on its own without a whole lot of resource from Cody. So if Cody's not buying nannies for each one of the wives, he shouldn't be buying nannies for any of the wives. If Cody's not paying the mortgage for the other wives, he shouldn't be paying money for any of the wives. But that's what the favorite wife status has. And that's why Robyn is in the situation that she's in. And that's also why I think that the added benefit that Cody likes in that situation, people who are extremely selfish, I'm not even going to use the term narcissist, I'm not going to classify them as that. People who are selfish will always try to find a way, selfish and self-centered, will always try to find a way to get two people to fight over them because it makes them feel valuable. It makes them feel important. I got these two people ready to go to war over me because they love me so much, they want me so much, and I'm so great and I'm so wonderful that they ready to get all their tea blasted out of their head because they want to be with me. When he sat there and he was arguing with Christine, what was he arguing with Christine about? Christine was arguing with him because she was saying, I'm sitting here watching you in a functional marriage. And his big retort to that wasn't, Christine, you've treated me poorly. Christine, you were not there for me. Christine, this is how you hurt me. What he said was, oh, Christine, there are members of the family that you didn't treat right. I'm defending Robyn. Again, I get to be the hero as Cody. I get to be the hero. And then two, it's always Robyn's fault. Now, Robyn has two things. One, Robyn always goes unnamed. And two, she's always blamed. She goes unnamed because he will classify her as members of the family. There's parts of the family. There's people in the family. And this, that, and other. Where he'll never come out and say her name, or they'll never directly say Robyn this, Robyn that, Robyn's kids this or that. He'll always say somebody in the family or the family, but it's never his fault. So when there's an issue with the kids or Robyn or whatever the case may be, it's always, oh, you guys are mad because you're jealous of Robyn. You're mad because you're mistreating somebody in the family. That's why I'm angry. I'm not having a disagreement with you over me or something I did. I'm having a disagreement with you over something you did to other members of the family because I am the protector of the family. In that instance, he's trying to elevate himself above the conflict and the dispute because he's not involved in it. But at the same time, the reason why there is a conflict is because everybody's jealous of him because he's so great and he's so wonderful. It's crazy how this ties in and ties out in so many different ways and how he uses it to try to manipulate all these women. But all in all, I mean, the very fact that he has a favorite, he can't sit there and legitimately say he doesn't have a favorite, or not even so much a favorite, because I think that for the way he treats everybody, I don't think that necessarily Robyn is his favorite. Robyn is the wife that he prefers. And there's kind of a subtle difference. Some will say there's a distinction without a difference, but I think there's a subtle difference in this instance. I think that he prefers Robyn because Robyn, when he first met her, she had the look that he liked. When he first met her, she complied with him and she treated him as though he was smart. He knew everything. He was always right. He was so generous and so gracious. He was a savior. He was a hero. And he was all these wonderful things. And she plays to his ego. So he prefers to spend time with her. Now, that's not to say that if he could find somebody who is younger and does the same thing, or better looking and does the same thing, or more even better, they have a better standing within the church, they have money, and they're younger and better looking. Oh, Robyn's getting dropped like a bad habit, y'all. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, she's not, like he says that, oh, I'm so in love with her, but there's no part of me that believes that if he was presented with a better option, that he wouldn't take that option. He's going to opt out. And the same thing with Robyn. I mean, to be honest with you, the part of the conflict that I think so many people have with who's the driver, who's the evil one, and who's the puppet, and who's the puppeteer between Robyn and Cody is the idea that they don't realize that these are two peas in the same damn dirty ass pod. These are people who, if given an opportunity to do better than the situation they're in, they would not hesitate to abandon the situation they're in to do better. Robyn will leave Cody just as quick as Cody would leave Robyn. If Robyn was presented with a guy who was good looking, had more money, and could treat her and take care of her kids the way she wants them to take care of her kids, she'll drop Cody like a bad habit. That's just the way things work. Let me know what you guys think down below. My name is James. This has been my take on reality, and I'm out. 'Cause I've been living